Do you think he may have faked his own death?
Oh, that's what we believe has happened.
Have you ever seen anything like this in your experience in law enforcement?
No, I haven't. This is tops the list.
Oh, we got some brand new developments to share with you in the case of the Wisconsin kayaker accused of faking his own death. How Ryan Borgward did it is what's trending in true crime. The 44-year-old was reported missing back in August after he didn't return from a fishing trip. Earlier this month, investigators made contact with Borgward, who allegedly fled to Europe.
Good evening, it's Ryan Borgward. Today, hello, Matt. Today is November 11th. It's approximately 10 a.m. by you guys. I'm in my apartment. I am safe, secure, no problem. Hope this works.
Oh, so there's a video showing he's alive and well. Now, take a look at his movement. This is how he did it. So police say while he was on the lake, so he goes to the lake, and they say that he deliberately overturns his kayak, dumps his cell phone in the lake, used an inflatable that he brought with him to take him back to the shore. They say that he also brought a bike there and left it and took it he left it while he was dumping the kayak, and then took that bike to ride overnight to Madison, Wisconsin. From there, once he got to Madison, he boarded a bus and went to Detroit. From Detroit, he took another bus to Canada. He winds up there, look at that, and then he flies across the pond and eventually winds up in Uzbekistan because he was going to see a woman. Surprise, surprise. That's what drew him to Uzbekistan. And it was that woman, to her credit, who did get him in touch with police recently since this search has been going on. Can you imagine the resources that the local officials are spending trying to look for this guy? I mean, they spent so much time searching that lake and the surrounding area. This guy left his wife and his kids at home just to start a new life, apparently. So this morning, we're asking our power panel, what is the most shocking part of the kayaker's story? Let's bring them in now. Still with me, I have the former solicitor for the 16th Judicial Circuit in South Carolina. He's a lawmaker now and in private practice, attorney Tommy Pope. We have the current solicitor for the 16th Judicial Circuit of South Carolina, Tommy's friend and colleague, Kevin Brackett. Kevin famously helped Tommy put away Susan Smith. And we want to welcome into the conversation retired criminal defense attorney and author Kirk Nurmi, famously defended Jodi Arias. Good morning to you all. Kirk, let me begin with you, please. What is the most shocking part about this for you?
Well, boy, I tell you, when I first heard about this story, I thought someone at Court TV was pranking me. This is quite the adventure here, right? I mean, you know, one of the things that's shocking, and of course we have to say, you know, we think about these situations, and at least it didn't end in the ultimate tragedy, right? So many times on Court TV, we're talking about someone who killed another person in an effort to get away from their marriage or their family, what have you. But, you know, it's always shocking to me the extent that people will go. I mean, we think about this is like James Bond level planning, right? He's got all this mapped out, et cetera. And it's just shocking to me the extent that people will go to get out of situations rather than just dealing with them as they are and moving forward with life. So it's always shocking. We can't minimize what he did, like you said, the resources, but the planning and everything is just stunning.
It really is. It really is, Kirk. As you said, it stuns and amazes you at the lengths someone would go to avoid just regular problems that everybody has in American relationships, right? I mean, what a coward this guy is. Couldn't face his wife and his family and say, you know what, I want out of this. I've fallen in love with someone in Uzbekistan. You know, has to put his children and his wife through the cruelty of thinking that he's dead. I mean, just a cruel coward this guy is to me. And I'm going to talk about charges. Kevin, let me go to you on this one, please, our sitting DA. So tell me, when you think about what this guy could potentially be criminally charged with, I keep hearing that question crop up. What comes to mind for him, please?
Well, the insurance aspect of this is something that I think I would look at, and of course, he wasn't the beneficiary, so it wasn't a personal fraud for his benefit. But still, if he anticipated, as I'm sure he did, that his wife would file a claim and try to get the insurance policy validated and receive the money, he would know that that was fraudulent because that wasn't true. He wasn't dead. So it could be an attempted insurance fraud. In addition to that, possibly obstruction of justice for causing the sheriff and all the law enforcement agencies involved in the search and rescue operation that was undertaken to try to recover him or rescue him. A tremendous amount of money was expended and effort on their part. So those are a couple of avenues that I would be looking at if this had happened in my jurisdiction.
Kevin, thank you for that. Tommy Pope, you're also retired from law enforcement. You served with SLED for many years. Would you speak to that point about how dangerous it was? I don't want to lose sight of the fact that so many rescuers risk their own lives searching that lake and diving and trying to find this guy when he was never in jeopardy, never deceased, never missing. He was off, living his best life in Uzbekistan with his new woman.
Well, apparently, Julie, he wasn't living his best life, because the most shocking part for me is he thinks he can have a do-over. He's chased this love across the sea, didn't work out, and now he wants to come back. But I think, ironically, on the tail end of last week and, all the efforts law enforcement made during the Smith case, it's dangerous. They're out searching. They're doing the stress level for this family. He's caused more damage, and it's just, to me, it's pure selfishness. If reading between the lines, he went to chase his true love. Unfortunately, we had a governor in South Carolina that kind of did the same thing, and that didn't work out any better, I don't believe.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you, Tommy. And so let's also talk about the family here. Of course, we all feel for them. During a presser last week, the Green Lake County, Wisconsin, of course, Sheriff Mark Podol gave his take on the search for this guy, Ryan Borgward. And he said he's got concerns about him possibly coming home to be with his family for the holidays. Let's take a listen.
Has he indicated that he might ever willingly return?
Our communications are continuing to go on about that matter. His biggest concern is how the community is going to react to him. And I can see that. Okay, he staged his death, and unfortunately, one of the things that he did say was he didn't expect us to go more than 2 weeks when searching for him.
The family, they may hate him. So let's talk about what are the odds that he does return home to the family that he created. 3 beautiful children with his wife. He's abandoned them all. Is he coming back for Thanksgiving? Kirk Nurmi, what do you say, please?
Boy, it's hard to say. It's wild to me that we're having a negotiation of a return of a crime like this, right? Obviously he could stay where he's at. Obviously we've talked about the resources and things of that nature, but he fled. He's going to come back to face the music. That's going to be tough. I'm wondering about what's going on with this guy's mental health, because when I think about this negotiation and what he's worried about, I'm wondering if he isn't somewhat relishing in the fame of this, the notoriety of this. So I'm wondering what's going on here. But, as far as I can see, his family probably should not receive him back, and he would probably be better advised, and maybe the United States would be better if he stayed where he's at.
I like that point too, Kirk. Thank you for that. Kevin Brackett, what do you think? You think this guy's coming home?
Well, I think it's a lot, like Mark said, it's going to depend on where this guy's head is at. Because if he's rational and he's thinking clearly, eventually he's going to come to the conclusion that he can't do his children like this. He can't just leave them wondering about their dad for the rest of their life and thinking that he didn't love them. Eventually, I think he's going to have to face the music and come back and address this issue. I think while he is potentially facing charges, they're not the kind of charges that are going to put him in jail forever and ever. There'll be serious charges that he'll have to address because he did a very terrible thing. And obviously he has to face his kids because he sat over there for all this time, allowing his kids to think he was dead or wonder about his well-being, and his wife and the rest of his family. So, I mean, he's done a terrible thing, but I think at the end, if he's rational, he's thinking clearly, he's going to want to come back and fix this.
Yes, as he should. Boy, oh boy, isn't it the truth that oftentimes people's problems bear their own fingerprints? This guy just created a world of trouble for himself, and we've got to leave it there for time's sake.